Hello, David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Look, I don't think that it's any mystery that I have a soft spot for Quantum of Solace. Everything about it, the sartorial kit, the sunglasses, the jackets, the posters, the movie itself, it's all there for me. But then there are things that you just want to have elevated. And this is that discussion because we're going to be talking about a gentleman, the Bond Armory. Now, you know the Bond Armory as Ray Kromphold, and Ray's just a great guy. He's a super nice guy. He lives very close to me within driving distance, been over to my house, broke bread with my family. We've partied. We've had good times. That's Ray. But Ray loves to elevate things. He's a builder, and he's a bit of a magician too, all in one same fell swoop. So I want to show you something because knowing that I love Quantum of Solace, I love these little moments. One of my favorite moments is when he uses this knife in the movie, in the elevator scene. It's actually taken from him more than used. And we see it very quickly, but we know it's Bond's knife. But this wasn't exactly the one used in the movie. What's that, you say? No. So this is one that's exactly like the one you see in the movie. And Ray transformed it. He evolved it from something very simple that you just saw to a screen-accurate version. How did he do that? First of all, let's take the knife out for a second. You have to use the correct knife. This is the correct knife with all the details on it. You can see the Sting logo. We'll bring that nice and close. And what he did was he actually put coil and wrappings around this by hand, drilling a hole deep into the middle, which was no easy feat, and then literally copied using a screen accurate prop one to actually create this. Now, here's the cool part. Ray is actually on hand to describe how he transformed this. So let's get him in the house so we can actually hear from the man himself. All right, now we were able to actually dial in the man himself who transformed this pretty much from this to this. So Ray, do us a favor, walk us through, how did you create this movie magic?
Sure. Well, we have a mutual friend in the Bond community who actually owns the screen used resin prop, and he was kind enough to send me some pictures. So I just kind of what's the term I'm looking for? I just kind of deconstructed it piece by piece. Looked at
Like
the
reverse
pictures.
engineered, is that it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There you go. So there were notches at the top. There's a 1/8 hole. Had to identify the cord. I know something important for your viewers, as you're a collector. You did a great job choosing the knife. If you notice on the actual blade, there's two different logos. So sometime after Quantum of Solace, CRKT changed their logo from more of an outdoorsy kind of thing, which is the Quantum. And then after Quantum, they went kind of a little more tactical. So they changed the logo a bit. So that was the first step, is identifying the proper knife.
What was the logo that they switched to?
They switched from it kind of had like a little mountain square, and then they went to more of a tactical thing with that just says CRKT. They changed the font a bit.
This literally, the handle looks like it's been transformed.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. It's very tedious. I did everything by hand. So it started with a metal file, doing the two notches, which I'm assuming are there just in case, because it's a spear point blade. In a survival type situation, if Bond wanted to make a spear out of his knife, he could. Once those notches were in there, which takes quite a bit of time with the metal file, it was trying to drill through the actual handle to make that one hole to do the wrap. And I'll give it to CRKT. That is some super tough steel. It's 1050 steel. And I went through carbide tips, probably about a dozen plus different drill bits before I finally just bit the bullet and bought a $30 milling bit to do a 1/8 hole. But once that was done, it was just a matter of hitting up every arts and crafts store I could find, trying to find a similar cord. I know we were talking to that mutual friend of ours. We thought maybe it could have been a shoelace, maybe 550 cord, paracord, something like that. As it turns out, it's just a very thin braided leather cord.
Oh my
So,
gosh. So is there
yeah.
anything on this cord, like some sort of coating that you put on it?
So I actually, to get the cord to stay, it's not just like a normal wrap where you can do a cobra weave or something and it'll stay on the blade nice and, or on the handle nice and tight. I actually had to do one pass, super glue, one or gorilla glue, another pass, glue on both sides, hold it till it dried, do another pass, hold it till it dried, and just over and over and over until it was all the way down. After that, to make sure that it wouldn't slip or anything, I just reinforced it with some epoxy underneath and let it drip into the handle a little bit just to hold it in place. And then it was just a matter of cleaning up any of the, if you ever use like glue and stuff like that, sometimes on fabrics, you'll get those kind of spider webby strings going all over the place. Once everything was dry, just with a toothpick, just cleaning up any of that stuff, knocking it out, and then apply paint.
So, you and your channel, you're weapons expert, and you talk about carry, you talk about knives quite a bit. I'm really curious if you can speculate, why would Bond go from just a kind of a plain grip? Why would he want something with all this cord? What does it provide him?
Well, the cord itself could be used in an emergency situation, like with those two notches at the top, if you wanted to turn it into a spear. But I would say it's to just add grip to the knife. It's very slick. It's not like a anti-slip coating that's on it. It's an anti-reflective coating. But if you're going to stab or any type of thrust with that, I could easily see, slipping and your hand goes onto the blade, something like that. So by adding that cord, it gives it more of a purchase in your hand and makes it more more grippable,
How,
grippable,
Grippability.
grippable.
Um, how much was this a passion project? Like most of us, do you see the knife in the film and you're like, whoa, what is that? And people locate it, and then you're like, I'm going to sit here and make this the most accurate thing ever.
It definitely was. I didn't want to just make it look like it. I wanted it to be as exact as possible, and it's just a little challenge. Challenge, and anything that's a challenge that you can, conquer, to me is fantastic. It makes you feel a sense of pride, and feels good when you do it.
That's great. How many of these have you made?
I've made two, and I have two on standby that I'm just finishing now.
Unbelievable. All right, Ray, thank you so much for the description. Much appreciated.
Anytime, David.
Okay, that's pretty cool, but now I've got a screen accurate prop from one of the scenes from the movie that I absolutely adored, but that wasn't quite enough. This is just, this is the way Ray rolls. So he sent me a gift with a beautiful, beautiful thank you card, basically saying, I can't believe we've known each other for only 4 years. You've been an amazing friend and mentor, and I wanted to send you a thank you gift. But what do you get a Bond fanatic who has everything? Thank you for teaching me that nothing is impossible with friends like you at my side, Ray. Super, super nice. I mean, here he is. He did this knife for me. He didn't have to do anything else, but this is unbelievable. So it says, to David from Ray, and it is 007 Impossible Bottle. So what do you have in here? It is the cards, but what he did was, he literally, you can see the dimensionality in here. He carved them down with an X-Acto knife to have multiple layers. So those are those theory cards, but he transformed them into a work of art. And then he put them into this, I don't know how he did this. He put them into this glass bottle, like a ship in a bottle. And I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And this is like the coolest thing. But that's just an example of the kindness, hashtag be kind, of the Bond community. I mean, they don't think about these things. They want to do things for other people, and it makes you want to do them back. It's very pay it forward type of community. So this isn't just a discussion about a knife. You're probably realizing that by now. And it's not just a discussion about taking something that isn't screen accurate to making it something screen accurate. This is about the kindness. This is about things that happen every day within the Bond community. And I'm here to tell you, for me, it is the most incredible community out there. Yes, There is the Marvel community, the Disney community, the Star Wars community, the DC community. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Transformers, they all have their hobbyist communities. But I will say, fans supporting fans in that topic, there's no greater community. My opinion. Anyway, thank you, Ray. This has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Quantum of Solace. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.